Hey Ram, were you able to get the function setup manager?
Yes, but still that org assignment, I think I didn't do it, so we need to see.
Oh. So how did you get the function setup manager? It was there already or
No, I assigned it.
assigned it? What is the name of what you assigned?
Called Application Implementation Manager.
Consultant or manager? Okay. Yeah, that's good.
Application Implementation Consultant, I guess, yeah.
Okay.
But one through a video, looks like IT Security Manager, both are must, I guess, I don't know.
Yeah.
The IT Security Manager is to get access to the security console.
Right, but he was trying to get to manage data access and he could not get into setup and maintenance.
Actually,
that's the application implementation consultant role is what you have to assign to yourself.
But Deepti, I don't see it in my roles, and yet I have setup and maintenance menu.
no, actually it is not, Deepti. What problem I am having is, I tried to create a sub-inventory and it asked me which inventory org you want to create sub-inventory. And I'm not seeing list of values, anything. So looks like my org is not assigned properly.
Yeah, so you need to do the manage data access.
Correct. You have to be the inventory manager for that org for you to be able to create sub-inventories inside that org.
We tried that. I don't know. Maybe you need to show us. We couldn't resolve that. So definitely, I think today we have to spend a little time on solving the security problems. I think that will be the major one. Yeah.
Okay, so why don't we get started now on to look into these issues?
Yeah. Let's do that quickly.
Yeah. So do you want to?
I don't see responsibility that role with me, but yet I have setup and maintenance. How come?
But can you search some setup tasks and all over there?
Yeah, I can. No. Okay, let me see if I can actually do setups in that.
Can I share my screen, Deepti? Can you give me presenter?
Yes, that will be good because I mean it's easy for me to sit and resolve the issue, but I think
we have to do it by ourselves actually with my security.
Yeah, and sometimes with your navigation, you're just little here and there, so it's good if you can show. So I've given you the presenter role, and today I anyways plan to be in an accelerated mode. So yeah, let's look into these issues initially.
Yeah, am I able to click that start sharing? He gave me that decline offer is active, but start sharing is grayed out. Can you reshare this?
On top, you should have that selected attendee has declined.
I think I have not selected what to give, I guess. Yeah. Give me that. Okay. What mistake I made.
Okay, I'm just giving you the presenter again.
Got it?
Yes, I can see your screen.
So what is happening is I went to the creation of sub-inventories. I don't see inventory org. So what could be the issue?
Mostly you're not the inventory manager of that org. So you can see your org in so just go to, remember we discussed this also yesterday where I told you to just go to the same manage data access for the person, and whatever you see so you have two options, right? To show all roles without data access and with data access. So whatever is there without data access, just give yourself data access to those roles. So could you go to that?
Yeah, tell me.
Go to the setup page, the setup and maintenance.
Okay.
And then we will go to facilities. Change the responsibility in facilities.
Then
the last one, manage inventory organization data access for users.
So facilities and manage.
So here, could you first on top the security context? Can we just make it like all? I just want to see what all roles you are missing the data access.
So okay. So where I put all?
So on, yeah, the security context, exactly where your cursor is.
Mhm.
Instead of inventory org, let's make it org. Let's make it all. Yeah, just select all, and then enter your username.
Okay. Got it.
Okay, so see, these are so many roles where you don't have the data access. You don't have the production operator access to any screen. We wanted you to have a data access. Implementation consultant you don't need, but to all other roles, just give yourself the data access to your org and to the org, the test org.
How do I do that? Go to the, let's say,
Click on the plus on in above.
no, already I have roles, am I right?
Yeah, you have the roles. It's just that you're missing the data access.
Okay, so how to give the data access? So go to plus.
Yeah. Now type in any of these roles what you keep seeing here. Like type in production supervisor and production operator.
No, enter your user first.
Plus. First I need to put my user.
Yeah.
Okay. Then let us say production supervisor. Okay. Security context is plant. Context value is
The org that you have created. And even the test org. Give yourself both. So Dilip, you're also able to follow this, right? Maybe you'll also need to do that to all
Yeah,
your
I
users.
have done this in the past, but I could not do it yesterday. Yeah, I could not.
Oh,
practice.
really? In fact, yesterday in the beginning, when we were taking the questions for the day one, we also saw this thing and we resolved this.
Yeah, I'm comfortable with the screen. Yeah.
no. So messages. This is. You must provide value for that security context value.
1 second.
I gave everything.
You must provide a value to these attributes. Security context value. Okay. Just click on OK. I don't know, maybe you just need to repeat the action. That's surprising that it's telling you that. It says, okay.
Let me do this again.
And first let's give yourself inventory manager so that you, and even actually I want you to give yourself production supervisor, because today we are going to do a lot of that screen which needs production supervisor.
.scm01. Okay. Role is production supervisor.
No, do inventory manager first.
Okay, first production supervisor. Let me just do this. Manufacturing plant. TR plant. Save and close. Yeah. Same error.
Why is it giving you that? Oh, it says a record with this combination already exists. So basically you've given yourself the production supervisor for this org.
Yeah, it already exists. Yeah.
Like you want me to do the inventory manager?
Yeah.
Inventory manager. Only I'm getting inventory organization.
Yeah, that's correct.
Then I cannot get plant, am I right?
Yeah, because this is just like you being the inventory manager there.
So here I cannot give it to my plant.
No, but your plant is also an inventory organization. So we first create an inventory organization and then mark it like a manufacturing plant.
Save and close. You must provide value for attribute security council. I think there is something going on.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe you're just not like tabbing out well, maybe. Or it could be an instance issue. I'm also going to try the same action.
Yeah. But I think that's what I'm going to suggest. Yeah.
Okay, while I'm trying this, if you have something else also, you can bring it up.
So let me try with production operator.
Your user is 01, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, for any of the orgs, I'm getting the same thing.
Okay, I managed it. For inventory org at least.
Okay. So I'm just going to try for your user.
I tried demo org, same issue. Test. Do you think it's a browser problem?
Let's see whether that role already exists at your end. You could, on top, you could give the filter users with data access and check. You have actually the inventory manager role already for demo org and test org, but you don't have it to your the org that you created, tr_plant.
But whereas when I went to the create sub-inventories, I did not get any org in the list of values.
Oh, you didn't get any org? I thought you didn't get your org.
No.
Okay, do you want to show me that?
Yeah, but let us resolve this first actually, the data access issue. What do you want me to do? Users with data access, then try me.
Yeah, actually when I'm getting that error today, you know, for your user, when I'm trying to give you, I'm getting the exact same thing what you're getting.
Okay. So here the search, then plus. So this is a problem actually. I think 10SCM01 role inventory name.
Strange, we are getting this issue when I'm able to have that issue at my end too.
So
but Dilip, you're not getting this issue?
No, I was able to add you up.
Oh, that's strange.
maybe is it a browser issue or something?
But I'm also able to reproduce it, so should not be a browser.
Then what could be the issue?
Should we try with some other role, because I don't know if this
These are serial roles, right? Otherwise, I don't know. Production supervisor.
But I added only for test org, of course.
Okay. He already has the access to test org, so I was not trying that.
Actually, I did not get anything. So let me go to, you want me to do this, what do you call? Go to the inventory and do the other setup. Want to see, create sub inventory?
Yeah. Sure, let's do that.
Click setup and maintenance, right? And on maintenance page, this one you put this, always do this. Then on setup and maintenance page, click on manufacturing and supply chain materials. Then on this page, click on inventory management functional area. Inventory management functional area, inventory management. Then manage sub-inventories, am I right? And locators. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
See here, get nothing.
No, do the search and see.
Yeah, okay.
No. Yeah, continue, no? Do the search and see.
Invalid value.
No, do the search, no. What did you come out?
I think it came out, sorry. Manage sub-inventories and locators, okay.
Right. Complete the search.
So demo, let's say demo, okay.
No, don't say okay. Yeah, just do the search. But yeah, looks like you're not having access.
Yeah.
Click on search. You have to click on search.
Yeah, correct. Don't just say cancel here.
It won't happen. Demo, TEST test.
No, the test was TEST.
Yeah. Search. No roster display. TR. Search. Nothing.
And Dilip, are you able to go to the sub-inventories?
No, I didn't try that. Let me try.
Yeah, because I don't know. Look, it could be that the instances today is having some issue.
Let me
This
try.
has happened since yesterday, am I right? Yeah.
I go to setup and maintenance, right? Okay.
Okay, I'm able to pick up orgs from the list. I guess then your user is having some issue. Yeah, I'm able to. So looks like your user is having an issue. Maybe for today's session you can share some user.
Yeah, just use my user or something.
Can you see my TR?
One moment, let me try. I'm sure we can, but yeah, I have to try. Yeah, I can see the TR plant.
Can you have at least give me access? Maybe is definitely no. We narrowed it down. I have access with mine.
Yeah, I managed to. I get into the sub inventory.
This is
Where do you set that? Where do you set the default org? I think mine is set to test org. Where do you set that?
I didn't set any profiles, am I right?
Yeah, in the profile you can set yourself to be to have a default org.
That's in the profile. Okay, I was wondering where it was. Yeah, okay. I'm okay. I managed to get into sub inventories.
Even I could get into. I think your user is having an issue.
Is there anybody in security area in Absolute Fusion can resolve this?
We can send them. I'm not sure if they'll have if they will be able to resolve, but yeah, sure, we can send them or just probably create some new users for you.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try once again to give your user some access. And now I could give you access to the TR plant.
Oh, okay.
You are able to give?
Now I was able to give.
What happened?
I don't know. I just tried the same action again and it worked now.
Oh man. You want me to log out and again change the browser, you mean to say?
You could just try logging out and logging back in.
So I'm not logging out. Is it? How do I sign out? Yeah. Confirm. Yeah. Then sign in. Yeah. Then I set up and maintenance. Am I right?
Yeah.
Then suspect to then inventory management, then manage.
Yeah, it is down here.
Now I got list.
Try the test first. Click on search. No, don't cancel. Click on search. Yeah, see, you got it. Now click, choose that and say OK. Yeah, you got it.
Got it. It's question of cache or something causing this.
Should be, yeah.
So I gave only inventory manager I gave this access, or to whom I gave this just now?
To inventory manager. The inventory manager, I give access this TR plant.
Correct. So I have to go to other implementation consultant. Do I need to give that?
That doesn't need data access. That's okay.
Okay. So you want me to give to one more? Let me just try one more. Done. Done. Manage implementation locators. Let me give access to other orgs also. Okay.
Let's proceed with today's agenda.
One minute. This is very important because other things, access is not there, nothing we can do. Inventory management. Then how to give it to other ones?
The same, the data access where you went, but you have access to the other organizations. As inventory manager role has access to other your other organizations.
Yeah, you can change org and see.
What is this going on? Change sub inventory. Create sub inventory.
Now you are in the create. You know what I would advise, that maybe after this session, you just try this out. If you have issues, you can just shoot an email and I will also help you out.
Yeah, now I can also help out. I have time after that. Not a problem.
Okay. Now today I have a lot of other work, man, after this training. Today is Monday. Yeah. Ready for error review. What is this? What this shows?
No, this is some other issue. You can just ignore this.
Okay.
This is one of the issues in our instance.
Yeah, I saw that on your laptop also, screen also.
Yeah, this is just some instance issue. It's okay.
Okay. So you want me to give back?
Yeah, sure. Is Sheikh going to join? He's not yet in here.
I think we can't wait for him. He's normally late, so let's keep continuing.
I think he is supposed to join. I tried to call him, he never answered. Let me try one more time.
Okay, did you make me the presenter? Not yet, yeah.
FT Fusion, how you are presenter, DT. Switch presenter, yeah.
Sure, I got it.
I'm trying to call this guy.
Yeah, yes, yes.
Great.
Welcome to Leica Mobile voicemail system. Your call is forwarded to an...
He will join. Let's let him. We need to move on. Yeah.
Okay. So today our interest is going to be all around the work executions. We will create work orders. We will see the different type of work orders and what all operations you can do when you're on the shop floor, when you're like a production supervisor on the shop floor. So I think one spillover that I wanted to cover from yesterday was mainly how we've created work definitions yesterday. Did you guys get a chance to practice on creating the work definition?
No, we could, right? Yeah.
Okay, sure.
I'll have time today. Yesterday I didn't have time. I'll have time today.
Oh, you'll have time today. That's great. So try to get your hands on to that, and then because once you have your hands on, you'll have more questions. And when you have questions, yeah, I'm trying to still set my email ID. But still you can try to shoot me emails via Shweta or the training team, whichever team you interact with, and you'll be able to reach me. So that is one route we can take till my email ID is set. So first I will just get into the application. So I want to show you how you can bulk load the work definitions. So yesterday we created work definitions on the screen, and the feature that I was talking about, the desktop integration, the web ADI. So I'm going to speak about that now, because I think that's also very important to know. Okay, so here, like I said, you have to first download an add-in from the application. So once you log into the application, if you go to the navigator, you have to go under tools, I guess.
How you are going to navigator? What are the clicks you are making, navigator?
Here, the top, when you're on your home page, on the top left, you have these 3 lines. This is called the navigator. So you just click on this, and you will not have so many applications here. It's just that mine is a training user, so that's why it has got like a bunch of roles, all finance, all HR roles, everything. So I'm just clicking on more because things are spilling over the page. Otherwise, typically it can remain in the page. Okay, then under tools option, so wherever, even in your first page, you could see like the tools submenu, there is download desktop integration installer. So you just have to download this, and this is, like I said, it's a one-time job. Very rarely after downloading you might need to upgrade. That's only because Oracle has upgraded something. So you save the file, it's an exe, and you just run the exe. After you run the exe, I'm going to show you in an Excel what it does.
You're downloading desktop integrator, am I right?
Yeah. That is the add-in. So suppose you have downloaded the exe. Now how do you get the template to update the work order? I'm just getting into the manufacturing application. We are in our work definition application. And here we have manage work definitions in the spreadsheet. So I'm just opening this because it will give me the template. Okay. So because I have the add-in installed, can you see my Excel where it's asking me to connect?
No.
No?
No.
Okay, one moment.
Yeah. Okay.
One moment, I'm just going to close up some things. Okay, I'm just going to click again. Let me know if you're if you see my Excel screen loading now.
Yeah, correct.
Okay. So once you have your exe installed, we just need to enable that in your Excel. This is a standard Excel process. You can get it in some Metalink notes also, but what you can do is just go to options, add-in, and because you have downloaded and installed the add-in, you will see this Oracle ADF desktop integration add-in for Excel. We just need to enable this. So I'm just putting here com add-in go, just enabling this because it's not.
So we need to do this step.
Yes.
This step is essential. Okay.
Yes. And the key thing for once you have this installed, like I said, it's just a one-time activity per machine. If you're changing your machine, you will need it again because it's just an exe from your machine. You can add in. So the key thing for any ADF-DI, like I said, this ADF-DI is there in product model, is there in manufacturing, is there in planning, order management, everywhere. It's across the cloud applications. So the key thing for you to know is it should ask you to log in. If you have tried to open a template and it is not asking you to log in, you can understand that your add-in is not working. you might want to just go to the navigator, download the exe again, run it, and do this option. So I'm going to walk you again, once again, to the Excel option that I did. Let me log in first, and just log in with your application user, the users that are created for you. Okay, it says a new version is available. Do you want to install? So maybe the version that I have is not the real one.
So you should keep checking for the latest version.
See, the system this way will kind of, point it out to you. So you don't really have to be on top, but it's...
If you get the message, right, so to do that.
Yeah. Otherwise, if you're not getting, you're all good. It'll keep working as long as it's working. Okay. So in fact, this is what you'll be doing. Okay, can you see that installer page on my screen?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it created all the templates or what? This one.
What do you mean by all the templates?
On the tabs in it.
Yeah, so this is the template. This is the whole template, and it has got all these worksheets. One moment, I think it's a little slow. It's just a little slow. Okay, so this is now an Excel which is integrated to your application because we logged in, and it takes all your data access, everything it takes into account. It's just the same functionality as the web add-in. And I'm not going to get into this detailed way, but I'll show you how we need to enter. So first, if you see this is the search. If you want to search anything from the application, you can just enter. Like if you double click, it opens the search window like how it does in the application. Okay, let me just click here and enter the org. I don't think my add-in is...
Why is there search here?
If you want to pull out the data from the application.
But you are trying to upload data, right? You're not trying to pull out data.
So this, what it helps you is, it will help you with downloading and even editing the existing work definition. Suppose you need to do bulk edits and mass edits.
Oh, so this will allow you to download.
Yeah. One moment. I'm just opening the Excel again. I didn't see that Excel, it isn't working well. I used this Excel yesterday and I was able to just populate some fields which I needed for this session. No, this isn't pulling out anything. Why does it not?
So it does a search right away here?
Yeah, so what it does is when you double click on this cell, it opens exactly the search window like how it does in the application, and it'll have the list of all the orgs that you can search from. But I don't know why it isn't doing it right now.
Oh, so actually it fills the lower portion with that.
Yeah.
What are the different colors in that sheet?
So basically the gray ones is not something that you will fill. It'll autofill based on your selections, and very typically whatever is star is what is mandatory. The way to fill this Excel add-in is, so whenever you're editing anything in a row, you get this triangle, okay? So whatever is this marked with this triangle are the ones which is going to be considered for the load. So let me just walk through the sheet. If I'm inserting a new row, so here again, if I don't want this to consider this row for upload, I can just double click on this changed cell, remove the triangle. So if I remove the triangle, I'm just telling the system that do not process this record. Like you need not upload or process this record. So, and once you do the load and once you have all your data filled in everything, on top, if you can see, it tells you which page you are in, manage work definitions. You just go here and click on upload. It'll start uploading and it'll kind of throw the error messages also, whatever it needs to throw. So I'm just uploading with an invalid sheet, which is not even updated. So it tells you insert failed. And it's giving you some reasons here that there's a null pointer exception because I did not enter the mandatory field. You cannot associate item with work definition because item is not active because it did not find the item. The attribute work definition name is required. There are a lot of required things which I didn't fill in, right? And
yeah, so we'll have to fill in data in these various tabs.
yes. And this is just like you build your, this is here you are entering just your work definition name and item, like how to, it's exactly how your work definition page looks like. You first enter the organization and item, then here you see if you're scrolling right, you're entering the work definition name, the version, start date, then production priority and costing. So this is all we did when we created a work definition, and the operation sequences we are entering here. Okay, and which work center the operation is going to be performed. So this tab is work definition and operations. Here is where we are adding items to those operations. See, there's an issue. Actually, the sheet also should load. Yeah, okay, now it's loading. It's a little slow, I guess. So now here in this sheet, we are doing the operation items and the same. So you have to give the exact work definition name what you've given in the previous screen, and the item, the material sequence. Like when we were added our item to the work definition, when we did the scroll, what basis, quantity, all this information you can add here. And most of these fields which have a fixed list of value, if you double click on it, it'll open a search page for which will help you search within, like if you don't know your exact name of the item, like we normally search for the organization, we search as test underscore. So similarly here items also, we can just do a search.
This sheet is right now not workable?
It looks like it's not workable.
Are you going to do that maybe later? You wanted to postpone this maybe on 25th or something?
25th, I don't think I will have the time to cover this because we have a very loaded set of topics for that day.
But if it is not working, we don't get to see the feel of it. So.
Yeah, but it's exactly like how your web add-in would behave. Like there's absolute no difference because you guys would have worked in your web ADI, the web ADI. So it's just similarly, you just keep entering the fields, and of course the work definitions one I would say is a little more complicated. There are a lot of other Excel add-ins that we work with are like much simpler because it's only one sheet, or there are different sheets that we build. So here, of course, work definition, items, resources, it's a little more exhaustive. But I'm sure once you start entering, it will be very convenient and you'll really get the hang of it.
But how do you troubleshoot if this kind of situation happens?
I mean, right now, see, most are my first suspect. Like, of course, normally thing is working. If it's not working, there's nothing we can do. We only file the SR to Oracle. But because this is a training instance, and I really have no control over this, my first doubt goes as this could be because of the training instance and multiple activities in this. But otherwise, if it's your customer instances and all, if it isn't working, you just file SRs, because this is not in our control. The data in this is in our control, and typically you'll get a very good idea with the message here. So if you try to load something and it didn't work, you'll get a good idea with the message that is displayed here.
So how do the SRs work differently in cloud, because they have access to the application, right? Which unlike in the normal EVS, you got to provide them this, you got to provide them that, and they have no access to the application. So in this case, do they have access to the application, and can they go see what's happening themselves, or does it behave that way or not so?
No, it's very much the same like how it's in EVS. We give them all screenshots, and then we do a web conference to walk them through the application. Sometimes I think they have access, but not always they are allowed to go and see. So most probably, if the SR guy has to investigate something, he schedules a meeting with you, and then you walk him through everything. He takes screenshots, he takes the logs. So it's very much the same process.
Dilip, you are assuming Oracle is the host, am I right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I thought maybe they have access, they can see themselves what's happening.
I think many times Oracle may not be the host.
No, Oracle.
Yeah, most probably Oracle is the host, but for some reason I've seen very strange behaviors where initially they would kind of investigate on their own, they would reproduce issues, but of late, no, they don't. They just wait for you to provide every screenshot, every setup in the documents, in screenshots uploading, and then they do a OWC with you. So it's exactly the same process.
Same process, okay.
Yeah, and then some folks tell me that they don't have access to the database, because some values you can just see in the table and investigate, right? So some guys say, no, even we don't have access to the tables. Some guys tell you that, okay, I've checked this in the table. So I never got a good feel of what exactly access they have.
So even though it's cloud, it's still independent. They don't have access.
Yeah, so like I said, some levels they do have access, because in some levels I've seen that how they help us resolve when they see the values in the table.
And Toad also works, am I right? The way you use the Toad?
No, Toad will not work because they haven't given you the connectivity.
Yeah, there's no access to database.
However, TNS information not provided. So.
However, in reports, like when you develop reports, we can go and write like a short report and see some values, but it's a little more exhaustive and complicated. But,
yeah, just have to do select star on that table, right?
Yeah. Correct. But then you should know the exact table name and try. Like, of course, using Toad and SQL Developer had been far easier.
So Dipti, if one row is failed, is the other lines will be uploaded?
Yes, the other lines will be uploaded. So it will clearly tell you this one insert failed, and then it will tell you this one row inserted successfully. And like when you click on the cell, see, it's giving me all the list of error messages, and it's pretty clear. Like this is required, this is required. It kind of
even if one operation is missed, it will load the other operations, or it will do job by job. If the job as a whole cannot be loaded, it won't load it. I mean the work definition as a whole.
No, so how the Excel treats is, it will treat this one whole row as one entity. So if this row is correct, it will load. So suppose you have done operation 10 here and operation 20 here, but 20 has an issue, 10 does not. So 10 will get loaded.
Oh, no, but this is not, okay, this is operation level, okay.
Yeah, this is operation level.
So individual operations. So some operations may get loaded and some will be skipped.
Correct.
So you have a partial work definition.
But you have a clear output on this work that this. So if the insert record failed, I can go correct the record here. So you just have to ensure that the triangle is there and then load it again. So again, it will run, it will process. Now it may give you a shorter list of errors because probably you've corrected something. So you'll see now if I have 5 errors, after I've corrected something and tried to load, I just have 3 errors that you can again rectify.
Okay.
So what are the how many the table status, how many rows we can add?
That's actually a good question. We had this. I think in one of the other product model applications, we saw there was some limit, like was it 10,000 or 20,000, and then we had enhancement requests with Oracle. That was in one of the projects that was being implemented. They realized that you cannot upload more than that number, and I can't recall the exact number. It's not too a small number and not too big number too. I think it's around 10,000 or 20,000, and beyond that, the Excel did not support.
So once it is loaded, will it is give the status, how many rows it is loaded, how many rows are errored?
No, you don't have a summary status. It's like in this Excel, you'll have a row inserted successfully, and then using your Excel functions, you can decide how many have been loaded successfully and not.
Oh, okay.
So even when we load item categories, you have a similar page. So suppose you want to load a lot of categories into the system. So you have a similar add-in which we can use and load. So even there it's helpful because you tend to load multiple at one shot.
Okay. So pretty much we need to play around with this sheet,
If you get
and I hope the sheet works. Again, because it isn't working now, I'm just assuming this to be an instance issue, like the issue with this instance. So if you guys can get to play around, that will be good.
If you first download, then you will get an error of you got 10 and you got only 6 out of it, and 4 got errored out. Then you resolve issues and again you need to rerun so that you get 8 next time or something like that, or how do you do that? But keep on doing it and reloading it, is it?
Yes. So
Correct.
the ones which are so the one which comes as row inserted successfully will not have the triangle, so it reduces the processing time too. So for the ones which are inserted successfully, but you want to do an update, so you can still ensure to have this check, make an update, and upload it again. So basically whatever is with this triangle will be loaded, and whatever after one load, if you want to correct errors into the next set, you can make corrections and load it again.
You make corrections where actually in these fields, is it?
Yeah, in the same, like now example, if it's telling you attribute, organization or version is required, I see. So I just go enter a version. So whatever is a field, work definition name, version 1.
Okay.
Start date also, it should give you a choice list. If you double click on this, it will pick up the choice list so that you can enter in Oracle's format, right? So, and then we can again click on upload.
So one more thing, regular EBS module, we have 4 interfaces. So for all 4 interfaces, we have a upload sheets like this.
For whichever entity supports the desktop integration, you will have the sheet provided. It will be within your application itself somewhere. So not all entities support the desktop add-in, but whichever entity from Oracle is supporting the desktop add-in, you will have the sheet available here, which downloads this template. Like if you see, this is also a template which is created, right? That organization item and all the header column. And this sheet, I'm seeing it differently. Normally, the first sheet sometimes is just like an instructions, which is kind of high level. It's just a repeated data. It's just like the Oracle's template. And all these columns, the template will be created for every application.
So actually, while downloading this work definition, you install this, am I right? That web ADI. The web ADI is installed for everything.
Yes. Once the web ADI, the exe is on your machine, you can use it for any of the applications which support the desktop integration within your within the Fusion instance. So sometimes from one, like this is one of the instance, right? This is this EEVX. If I have some other instance too, sometimes the same add-in is supported because they're on the same release or the same version.
Then how did you select which object need to be, for example, this work definition? How did you select that and downloaded that?
I downloaded the work definitions template from here.
Oh, got it. Okay. So here what you selected, what you need to.
Yeah, but the add-in is separate. So the add-in is a common add-in. That's why it's provided inside the navigator, because it's a common add-in across the Fusion suite.
Okay.
And now which entity you want to download, which entity you want to upload into the system, the template of that, you get it even in Oracle's document somewhere or within the application. In that area, functional area, you will get the template.
So in the same pane, you will get all the list of things what you can do for what, because you selected work definition here. That's how you got the spreadsheet here.
I opened only the work definitions upload sheet. So if I go and open the items sheet, it'll open the sheet of items where I can upload items.
Can you just show us, just to give an idea, just quick.
I have not seen where the navigation is. I'll have to go and search myself. But any application you go into, it'll tell you if you'll see something like this, similar words. You'll have to once you download it, because the add-in is already there, it'll directly open.
Oh, so once after loading the add-in, automatically for all these pages, this spreadsheet gets added, am I right, in the application?
Not in the application. The application has what it has to offer. So this application, what all it's offering is what Oracle has to offer in this release. The add-in is a separate, you can treat it like a separate entity where you are enabling your Excel to integrate with the Oracle cloud.
Correct.
So the add-in is a separate thing on your machine. It's an exe on your machine.
So
and now whichever entity from Oracle, like if items are supported, if you go to the items page, you will somewhere see that option of opening the spreadsheet. So here I just clicked on this to open the spreadsheet. Similarly over there you will see the option and it will open the spreadsheet. Because you already have the add-in, it will open in that upload format.
Yeah, and if I don't have the add-in, it will prompt you to install it, right?
Right, exactly, it will.
Okay.
The key thing what you have to notice is, suppose I open the sheet and it did not ask me to log in. Like when I just open the sheet, you have to notice that it has to ask you to log in. If it did not ask you to log in, this page should appear. For any, like if you're even uploading items or categories or say work orders, if work orders is supported, I can't recall. So whatever, it has to ask you to log in. If this did not appear, you know how this is how your page will look. And then you can this is like a debugging step, and then you can understand that there's an issue with your add-in. If the page opens like this, like you see.
So then how do I locate the add-in to install?
The add-in, what I do is I just go reinstall the add-in. So to reinstall the add-in, I go to Navigator, I download from this instance again. And typically doing this 99% resolves the issue. So just go download the desktop.
Oh, yeah, okay, download, yeah, okay. Now I remember,
so
okay.
You can save the exe and run it.
Okay, that's fine.
So normally, most typically, just reinstalling the add-in helps.
Can you save these templates to your desktop, these things?
Yes. Yes, you can. So you can have a partially entered template, save it to your desktop, reopen and start working again. So you have to just ensure that you're logged in, right? Because it's only when you log in, can you pull application values. Like here, like I told you, if I double click, it gives me a pop-up and allows me to choose test.org. That's because it's reading from the database of the application. So you just have to be logged in. Like otherwise you just open the, like suppose you open the Excel after some time. Right now, see the add-in is not enabled here, but even if you go to this last tab, it'll let you log in here. You can do a login here too. So you just have to be logged in. If you're logged in, you will have all the features of a desktop integration application.
Especially to upload data, you just save it and then populate all the fields and then upload it.
Yeah, you have to click on upload. So this upload will do the job.
What is the search? Actually, search is searching from the application.
I never tried the search, to be very honest. Because normally I just load data. I've never tried, but I guess it will do that. Or we can read in the document somewhere what the search does.
This is a work definition. So where is the bills of material?
That will be available in items. The bill of material in cloud is comes under items, right? So item and item structures, you'll have something. Did it get connected here? See, and now I have the values populated. Okay. I think we are. Something happened. I think the search is helping it do. Oh, so I guess we are hitting on search here. I said just this page is processing a bit differently. Okay, let me do that.
How did you initiate this action?
Just I hit on search. So I think whatever partially. So
hit on search, which field did you hit on?
I'll tell you once.
Okay.
So what I'm thinking now is the work definitions Excel is probably working differently. I have not, to be honest, in any implementation, I didn't need to do this Excel upload. So what so normally other add-ins, what I do is I just double click on this cell. It opens a choice list for me, like exactly like how it would open in the application. Here, if I do this and do hit on search, unable to execute command. Okay, well the search is in edit mode. Okay. So I just exited out of the cell. So like I said, you just have to read the error message and try to make sense. What it told me is the cell is in edit mode, so it cannot search. My cursor was inside this cell. I just clicked outside and I hit on search. So let's see, if it pulls out this value, I will get that this is working differently. Or probably this instance is behaving differently. But most add-ins, like any add-in where we are using, you just double click, it opens a choice list, you can enter the orgs. No, I don't know what it did. All my information went away.
Yeah, it worked initially, but not now.
So I suspect this to be some instance issue.
So once you click that, then give all the org and then click on search and automatically it loads them, right?
Sorry?
Which one will load them? Is it search is the button which is loading it now?
No, upload. Upload is the button which will load it.
Upload is uploading from Excel sheet to the application, right?
Correct. So upload is the button which will load the data from your Excel to.
Correct. What brings the data? Search is the thing which brings the data from application.
I have never tried this search, so I'm not very confident.
It is upload and that's the other way around. Search is the other way around. Yeah. Primary.
I don't know. It's behaving a little weird. No, on purpose I gave it partially. I wanted to see if search is helping me fill, because earlier it did something.
Maybe you need to fill it fully.
Like I said, I've used a lot of other web add-ins. It's just that this work definition I've not used yet. I don't remember my work definition name.
Basically, the usage of this is to upload data and mass edits, right?
Yes, yes.
Mass edit itself is the only way is it to be done, or is there any other function within Fusion?
Sorry, I didn't get the question.
This is the only option available for mass edits, or is there any other function, standard function, seeded function within cloud for mass edit of routings, work definitions and all?
So for every for work definitions, we have the web services, we have this add-in, and we also have the FBDI templates where you like a data loader where you're uploading the you're filling up Excel, converting it into a CSV and saving and loading it into the application. So for work definitions we have these, but for every entity you'll have some or the other way to have a mass upload, either the desktop integration or an FBDI template.
I'm not talking about mass upload, mass edit. For example, I want to pull out certain operation from all the routings. No more.
Yeah, I mean the same thing. I mean you can upload and you can even create, you can even edit, you can even delete. So all these methods will support even a create or an edit or an upload. So normally you'll have a column which says what action you're doing. If you're editing it, you just mark it as update. They give you the values that you mark, that you're supposed to update, whether you're supposed to update create or whether you're supposed to update like update action. So you're allowed to do all of those for the bulk operations. Okay, so I'll move on.
One more question.
Sure.
One more question. So, like we do have a revision interface, right? Do you have a where do you find the revision ADA upload?
Revision is nothing but the revisions in the work order. So the same Excel with a different revision you can upload here. We had a revision column. Here, the version. So this is like the different versions that you can upload. So that's why they've marked version and start date as a mandatory field.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Okay, so let's move on. The first thing before we create a work order, what I wanted to touch up upon was like calendars. I think yesterday Dilip was asking this question about if we can have a calendar view. So yes, we do have that view here. Yeah, so this is how you have a, so again what I did is I've already created these exceptions just in the interest of time, but I'm going to show you where to create them. And during your practice activities, I'm going to list this. So there is, so today our entire discussion is going to be about this work execution. So yesterday we did a lot of work in the work definitions area, and today we will be completely on the work execution.
So on the calendar in EBS, there is normally a concurrent request that we need to run to build the calendar. Is there something like that here also?
No, so here what it's doing is, if you remember, we created the calendars in day one, right? So based on that, how you and which calendar you have associated to your org and the shifts and that you have created and associated to that org, when I go to the work execution and go to the manage production calendar, it gives me the entire calendar here populated. So see, I have day wise. So just ignore this red and the yellow thing for now, because I've created those exceptions to show you how you can create exceptions in a calendar. But it was like, this is in this shift they had marked Tuesday and Wednesday to be the weekly off. This is the A to F PPM shift was already created, which I just used it in the test org.
So this is also immediately available. There is no build process that's required to build this.
No.
Okay.
So everything was in blue, and then I created different type of exceptions. That's just that if you have, you know, say I wanted here, I cut short this exception to instead of until 5 p.m. I made it until 3 p.m. because I wanted 3 to 5 either off for the employees, or we wanted them to attend some mandatory training. Okay, and here I created this 2-hour exception where we wanted all employees to go for a fire drill. So that is what I did. I created a shift exception of fire drill, and I labeled it as fire drill, like I give a description. I'm going to show you how we do that. So that we say that in this 8-hour shift, the 2-hour is an exception where we will not have an output. So let's see. So this is the production calendar that which is associated, again a typo here, production plant, manufacturing plant, and in this we can create resource exceptions. So in the production calendar you can create shift exceptions. Okay, there is also something called a resource calendar. The resource calendar is where we create resource exceptions. It could be that certain set of resources have to attend a specialized training. So it could be that only the resources which work on the lathe machine are going to get an advanced training. So only those resources you can create a resource exception for them. So in the system, we just go to your, I'm just in the work execution area, click on the right side tasks menu, and the manage production calendar is what has loaded this. You can do actions, so you can just select which shift and then do actions and create a shift exception. So here it just tells you what is the name and what are you doing. You're just changing the shift here. Do you want to remove the entire shift? Do you want to split the shift into two for whatever reason? If you want, like in the between the fire drill thing, what I did, that was the split shift. And you have to give what is the exception timing that you're creating here. Okay. And once you do that, you will start seeing, so here they're also color coded for you to have a good view as a production supervisor or a production manager. And again, it's like a regular calendar. You can just use this button to move around. You can have different views, like a weekly view or a monthly view with the view options here that is there. So this is also a good graphical UI to show you everything. For your resource calendar, we go here, the Manage Work Center Resource Calendar. Here you can create a specific resource, the exceptions and all which are there in Work Center 1. So now I'm just looking at Work Center 1, and you can see if there's a for each resource. So like I said, and you can also create an exception for particular resource and resource instances here. So where you just want to denote that certain resources in that work center are not going to be available. This is what I've done as the resource exception. Okay, so there are two calendars, and both when we are promising and when we are seeing the scheduled dates, both of them are taken into account. That is, your production calendar is typically that do you have any issues in your plant? Like if your plant has, say, a mishap and you just everybody is busy attending to an emergency, or is just having a break, the whole plant, or just certain resources, or a whole work area is affected, whatever. So there are two, the production calendar and the resource calendar, both of them is combined, and all your promising dates and all are calculated based on both of this. Okay. The next topic is about standard and non-standard work order. This is, as you all know, sure.
Regarding the calendar, usually I have seen, like, plants at the end of the time, they decide, hey, we need to work 2 more hours. So can we add 2 more hours to the same day?
Yes, that's also possible. Any type, like if you're planning to just work one day as an, how do you say, the overhead, no, what do you call that? Overtime. So you can add for that one day, or like a Saturday, whichever is your working Saturday, you can create that exception that this is the overtime that employees are going to work. So it can be, like the exception can be additional hours, or the exception can be reducing from the shift timing. It can be both.
So if you really want planning to work, then only you need to add this. Otherwise, you can always work, and the work can be, additional work can be counted and costed, right?
No, not only planning, even your work orders when you create, it will take into account your availability, right?
Correct.
So suppose if like, yeah, so not only for planning, but to know your actual work order completion dates, to know when the work order is planned to be completed.
That's also part of the planning, lead time calculation. That's okay. But these unscheduled hours can be done without even the calendar, outside the calendar hours. There is no restriction.
Like, I didn't follow.
For example, I have 8 hours a day for a shift, but next 1 week I decided my resources will work another 1 hour extra every day. So it won't stop the work or counting or costing. Only the...
No.
Yeah, booking the time is not restricted here.
Yeah, but to have a better view on your date, so because you're working 1 hour extra, you're probably finishing up a backlog, or you're probably finishing up extra orders, like the orders which are coming newly your way. So you might want to inform the system, right, that from now the order that was planned to complete tomorrow is going to be completed today, and or an order which was planned tomorrow but you're not able to meet the target because you're halfway through, you can still mark them as it's being completed on time. So if you create the exceptions, your dates, your planned completion dates and all will be accurate.
Correct.
It's only to have a good view on what load you have and how you're able to meet it, whether you're able to meet it or not.
So, but most of the time, the planned timings are different than actual timings. Yeah, or efficiencies, a lot of things. Yeah.
Okay. So I'll go to our next topic of creating work orders. This is also something we all know, standard and non-standard work orders. Standard work orders have a work definition. So I've put a screenshot of here of how when you create a standard work order, first you just give the item, and based on the item and the primary work definition that is defined, the next screen automatically is populating the work definition. I didn't need to choose a work definition. So I'm going to show you this also in the instance. And for a non-standard work order, so when I click on create a non-standard work order, this is the page which opens. It asks me to enter the item. You can enter a work order number if you like, or if you don't choose the work order number. So from our plant parameters, we had defined the numbering sequence for work orders, right? It will just follow this automatic sequence. And here you can choose to enter the work definition, or you may not also, because it's a non-standard work order. And if the work definition name is missing, like if you don't have a work definition name, the status is always unreleased. But if you have a work definition assigned, you can create orders in release status also. That's also very standard manufacturing feature, right? If you're releasing a work order, you should know what you have to do on the work order, and that's why it needs the work definition. If the work definition is missing, it doesn't even know what it needs to do. So when we create an unreleased status, when you do save and edit, you can choose to add some operations, add some operation items, operation resource. You can do all of that. We will see that also in our demo now. Okay, so I'm just going to go to the application.
You're telling that the work order, once you in a standard work orders, if you, can you go to the previous slide, please? Yeah. So once you fill in the item number, the product finished good number or something, then automatically work definition is populated.
Yeah. So this work definition. Yes. So this work definition name is auto-populated by the system. So here, if you see, still have the option to change it. It is still an editable field. So you can change it, like if you're manufacturing something alternate, you can come and change it. But in a standard one, this is the difference, that it just asks you for the item name. But in a non-standard, it asks you a host of things. It asks you all of this.
So what additional information it asks? It's like item, quantity. Anyway, quantity you have to give, even if it's standard also.
The status it lets you choose. If you're wanting to add some existing work definition, you can create it in release status, else you can create it in unreleased, or the next status that you can create it is on hold. You can directly create a work order, non-standard work order with status on hold, if you just want to, work on it later.
How do you do that? Is it default?
The status, here in the status, instead of unreleased, we can select on hold. The list of values will have the value on hold.
Okay, you just give the start date and completion date will be automatically calculated by system?
Yes. So there is that forward calculation and the backward calculations also.
What is the subtype?
I think it's the item subtype. Let's see. Let's get into the application. So to create work orders, we have to go to the Manage Work Orders page. And again, like all pages, this is the search area. You can just click on this plus and the downward arrow. It gives you all the different kinds of create operations that you can do on this page. So first, my interest is to create a standard work order. So I'm just giving my item and I'm giving the quantity. And I'm doing a save and edit. So this opens my work order page. So here you can see the status is unreleased. That's the default status. It has given you a start date and a completion date, and then it will give you a work definition name it will tell you which item structure we are referring to.
So it assumed that unlimited capacity and the material is available, am I right?
Yeah, I guess for this one, the material is already available. For
But
I
it
did.
doesn't matter. Work order never considers whether material is there or not. It's based on the calculation of time, resource timing. Whether the resource is available or not also it doesn't consider, am I right?
We have to define the lead time, right? If the item had a lead time, we have to put it on the item. If the
Yeah,
item
now
has a certain lead time.
those issues are not at this stage of creating the work order.
Correct. That's what I was checking actually. In UPS, typically it takes infinite capacity is available or material is available. Under that assumption, it calculates that. Am I right?
No, completion date, you are talking about calculation of completion date?
Yes.
Completion date is irrespective of material. It will look at the resources and the durations of those, the operations.
If resource is already there on other jobs.
No, it will, I don't think it depends on, it will consider the, but not the loading, not the overloading, not if it's already loaded beyond capacity, right? That is not considered. Just consider the times and availability.
It only just it goes based on the available, based on the lead time. That's it. It doesn't.
Yeah, based on lead times and based on resource availability.
Correct.
But it does not consider load of other jobs.
Do you think so? The load of other jobs.
No, it won't consider that.
That's what I'm asking.
Yeah, it will not consider
It
that.
considers infinite capacity of resource capacity and material.
It ignores the loading. It ignores other requirements. Yeah.
Correct. Just lead time is the basis. That's it.
Yeah, correct.
So because our item we did not even do that, so I think that's why it's giving. Otherwise, it's supposed to give the right completion date based on its calculations. Okay. And the next tab, if you see, we are right now in this.
Yeah, can we complete the partially?
Yes, we can. I'll show you that also when we work towards completing of work orders. So right now I'm in, like, again, pay attention to the work order page. Like, we are right now in the work order page, and this is our work order number for the item finished good. And we are right now in the general information tab. So the next tab is the operations. So what operations were there in this work definition, which is now in the work order that we have to implement. So the operation 10 is using this component, and there's 0 resources. And the second operation is being performed, this operation is being performed in this work center, this is being performed in the second work center, and this is using this component and this many resources. That is what it says. If I want, I can add a resource here also. So there was operator, okay, this one is work center 1, so only the resources of work center 1 is appearing.
And you can change them, right? Resource also.
Yes, we can change. We can change even the item or the resources. So whether you can edit anything, whether you want to edit an operation item or an operation resource, or edit the operation itself, or you can delete an operation, anything, or you can add new operation also for this work order. That will remain specific to this work order. It's not changing the work definition.
Is it the way you add ad hoc items?
Ad hoc items, like you can add here too, but ad hoc items, even in the work definition, you can add, which I didn't do yesterday because I didn't find the place. Even in the work definition, items which don't belong to its BOM can be added. That is what we were looking at yesterday. But here you can add ad hoc items too. Okay, and this is like the history. It will just give you the history of what all completed during the course of this work order execution. It will keep updating the history of what it's doing. Let's save this work order. So that will tell us that the work order HB1004 is created, and it is created in an unreleased status. So in the manage work orders page, you can just search for all work orders. This is like a search filter that I want to search all. I don't care if it's cancelled, closed, or completed. I just want to see the orders on which I have to take an action. And this is also one of the filter criterias. Like today to the next 7 days I want to see, or I just leave it blank. So like I said, the double stars indicate like one of these search fields should be entered for us to search. Okay, so again, using this page, the supervisor can choose to release, like I can select this and click on release, or I can do release and pick material. That is, I'm picking the materials required for this work order, right? When the work order is being released, it could be that it's a high priority order and you just want to release it. You want to ensure that the components for it is not taken away and it stays there. And I'll quickly show you a non-standard work order too, and then even I'll show you how we do a rework and a transform work order. I'll just go over those very quickly. Non-standard work order, like I said, you can give a work order numbering, else it will take your default sequence what you have. You can just give your item, and here see the work definition field is enabled. If you want, give a work definition, else leave it. So for this demo, I don't want to give the work definition. Okay, subtype is what kind of production this is. Like non-standard work orders typically either are a prototype or it's a repair job or it's not like any production. So just like a classification of what you're doing. It could be that you're creating a prototype item. Okay, and I'll do a save and edit. So I'll show you how in the non-standard work order, same, we directly came to the operations tab. That's how the system is doing. You can add operations here. You can add operation items. Exactly the same what we did while we were creating the work definition. I'm creating operation 10 in work center 1. I'm leaving that as count point 20. I want to do 20 also in work center 1. Sorry, I wanted work center 1. And a 30. Okay, now you can add items, you can add resources. Okay, it says quantity per product. Let me make it 2. So it automatically calculates that now you need 8 quantity of this raw material, and what is the supply type, what is the supply sub inventory. This is exactly like how we had done when we were creating the work definition. It's just that the page was a little different, and this will be STT3, and I'm going to leave the rest. Okay. You can add some resources. So only the resources which are associated to the particular work center come in. So I'll just quickly save this because I'm more interested to show you even the repair and the transform ones. So the last operation, I'm just making it like a resource operation.
Hello. Yeah.
Okay, just save and close. So now your work order HB1005 is also created. So both these work orders, one is a standard, one is a non-standard, both are created in unreleased status. I'll just go over some theory about rework and transform orders. Because the rework and the transform orders, you're making a change, you are allowed to enter negative quantities. That's the key thing. So just to read over the points, it says that when you enter a rework order, the work definition names that we were creating. So all the work definition names which have like rework would appear. The type as rework would appear in your list. And the work definition name is optional. Like you don't need to choose a work definition for a repair job. You can make it like, it's like a non-standard work order, right? So it does not necessarily need a work definition. The sub-inventory that we choose is the sub-inventory from where you're going to issue your product, which needs to be reworked upon. And you can also have negative operations. So the negative operations, like a negative issue or a negative return. So negative issue, okay, one second. The items in negative quantity can be assigned. For rework orders, if there's a defective item that we need to remove, we do use the negative issue transaction, and we can replace that. Then again, there's a negative quantity that is inherited through the work. Like even in the work definition, you can use negative quantity for a rework kind of work definition. And here it also says that whenever you define a negative quantity and you've given the supply type as a push, it is treated as a negative issue. So the negative issue is where it's removing the item from your final assembly and putting it back into the store. The negative return is where you're putting it back to the assembly. You're taking it from the stores and putting it to your assembly. And all these operations, your negative issue, negative return, they all can be serial or lot controlled. So if they're serial or lot controlled, at the time of issue or return, you will be expected to enter the serial numbers. So the transform is also very similar.
Actually, quick question. The rework orders, when the return will happen? Is it when the operation move happens from one operation to another one? That's when the return happens, or is it on the completion of the job?
It's the operations, what do you say, at the start of the operation, because in that start operation, you are removing, say you're removing some component, like I can just say that I have a faulty battery in a cell phone. So when we start that operation with a negative issue, I am removing the battery from the assembled item and putting it to the store. And maybe in the next operation, I'm issuing a new battery from my store and adding it to the assembly.
So your answer is at the time of operation completion. That's what happened. This material movement happens. Got it.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll go to the next type, which is the transform. The transform is how when a product is transformed in your into a new product. So in this, the transform from item field is a mandatory field. That is what item you're using to transform the particular item that you have. Here also the work definition name is not mandatory because this is a non-standard job, and you can also have negative quantity like how we had in the rework. And yeah, that's what the main thing is, that the transform from item is mandatory. So let me show you how to create a
transform. I didn't get it, sorry. Transform is the basic difference is what? You're transforming the assembly to another assembly?
Yes, you are creating a new product, right? In a transform, you will have a new product completely. It will have a new number. So you define in your work definition itself, what is your new product going to be?
Oh. It's
So
assembly.
It is the assembly. So the transform from item is the item for which the work order item is being transformed to. So it's going to be transformed to that item because you're going to have a completely new item. It'll have a new part number in your system. So that is what it is.
Now in standard work order also, what it does at the end of the thing, it gives the finished good, whatever item is there. In transform, you have an ability to put another item?
Yeah, because you need to tell the system what you're transforming it into. So your final assembly will be the transformed item, the item that you choose while creating this transform order. So that is what it will create. So suppose I am taking product X and my transform from item is Y, At the end of the work order, I will have Y into my inventory.
Correct. So you don't need a work definition, you don't need a BOM structure for this, to doing this?
I mean, it's optional. You can have a BOM and you can use it. So that's the reason we create the work definition name as transform and use them. Or if, because it's a non-standard one, if like how we saw the example of what we created a non-standard, you can create the work definition right now when you're creating the transform order.
Actually, this is a similar thing is there in R12, called with a different name, but you don't need to have anything for this. Just A can be converted into B in one step. That's what is this.
So that is work orderless.
Correct. I think that's
So
what
is this also work orderless?
I think so.
No,
That's what.
no. We have work order less again.
Okay.
We have a work order less. So work order less is registering the facts after the fact, like registering the details after the fact. That's work order less, right? Where we have a work order less option too. So wherein you have completed the job, but you need to record it into the system. So that is work order less, where you didn't have a work order, but you completed the job and now you want to record what all you did for the job. So that is also like a non-standard work. So you don't know what you're going to do. So first you do whatever you need to do and then you start recording, hey, I did this, this and this. That is work order less.
So here you record some operations and you can do it, am I right? There, work orderless, you don't need to have an operation also. You can instantaneously convert an item A to B without an order number at all.
Correct. But that's nothing like A to B in a work order less. In a work order less, you're just performing some job. I could be like, I had this, but that time, in release 13, we did not have the work order less feature. But what my customer had was, they had one warehouse. It was a third-party warehouse, which only did repair jobs. And the repair jobs can be anything in nature. It could be like opening, like if I take the cell phone example, it could be that he's repairing your screen. Your screen is broken. Or it could be that he's checking something inside in your circuits. So all the repair transactions, we logged it as work order less because they don't know what they're going to be repairing. So after they have repaired the specific device, they go and log a work order as I did this, I consumed this material, I probably took a new battery, I probably took a new screen, and report all the transactions. So work order less is different. Transform is when you transform.
Why do you need transform? You could do this through a regular job also, right?
Yeah, so transform is typically when maybe there's an engineering change on your product or just for a specific customer, like you have
Yeah, no, I understand the purpose, but I'm saying the purpose could very well be achieved by a regular one.
Kind of, but this is more how do I say, more controlled. Controlled is not the right word. How do I say? It's more standard. So here I have a new item which I define in the system, and now, so I'll give you a very naive and a very simple example. My company has all laptops of only say 16 GB RAM, and now I have a contract from a big company which says, oh no, I don't want 16 GB because I want only laptops produced with a 256. So because it's a big contract, I decide to enhance my thing. So what I do is my transform work order is for the 16 GB RAM. My transfer from item is my new laptop with 256 GB, which probably I will use later, just not provide to ABC company. And so using laptop 16 GB and transforming it to a 26 GB laptop, and the 26 GB laptop is now one of my new products which is just staying in my inventory. I'll probably supply it to other people also. So you just make the new product line of 256. You've saved it in your system. It's more, how do I say, standard. I'm not getting any proper word. I mean, I get you. Of course, we can achieve it in any way.
So you have item 1 and you replace one component, and then you complete it and it becomes item 2.
Yeah, if it becomes item 2, it's a transform. If you just if you want to keep it the same item, I want to keep it item 1 only, then I do a rework. I remove the 16 GB, add the 256 GB, I do a rework. But if I think, yeah.
But in the standard work order, also you issue one part, and then maybe you replace, you issue one part and then you add some more items, and then you complete it to another part.
Yes.
Uh,
No, the standard work order, you don't complete it to another part. When you complete it, it is the same part that you were intending to create. You were intending to create X and you are creating X. So the only difference between transform and any other type of item is, for any other, be it rework, be it standard, non-standard, you are going to create X, your output is X. In transform, you take X, you do whatever you want, and you bring Y. You're bringing Y into your inventory. Your inventory is...
What did you
Okay.
actually?
yeah, but that's a completion, right? The completion.
That's the completion. The completion is of Y.
And your component item that's issued is X.
No, not the component. So when we create a work order for any, like if you saw a standard, also we
Can I interrupt?
1 minute, let me just complete. 1 minute, I'll just complete this. So if you see standard work order, we enter the item. So what am I doing? I am manufacturing item FG. In non-standard, I am manufacturing item FG. In rework, I am manufacturing item FG. So my end result is also FG. In transform, I am taking FG, but my output is FG2. So the output is FG2 will be built in my inventory. But for all the other ones, so for all the okay, so for all the other work orders, I am building stock for FG, like my item FG. At the end of the work order, I will have more quantity of FG in my inventory. But in transform, I will have FG2 in my inventory. Okay, I will have a new product called FG2 in my inventory. There's a new part number at the end of a transform order.
Yeah, but isn't FG2 the completion item?
It is the completion item. So like I'm saying, just the difference, if you see from the technicality point of view, in all the other work orders, you are completing the item that you are entering. Your output is the item that you are entering. But in transform, your output is another item, not the item that you are entering the work order for.
Yeah, can I just tell my understanding so that everybody will be clear here? So basically what you are doing is a rework order is you are doing certain operations, adding certain operations and completing, and you are getting the same assembly what you mentioned in the order, work order assembly. Whereas in this transformer order, I am putting the assembly name as A, but after completion, and there is no exactly like rework order, except that the completion you will have an option to do what is the item you produced. Am I right?
I won't say an option. Like you're pretty right. Like you're pretty right when you say that end will be something else. But what we do is, yeah, you know what you are transforming it into. That's the component you add to your work definition.
Okay, got it.
Okay, I can give you a good example. At my previous client, they were selling the starters to the customer. If customer order the starter with 18 volts, you don't have the 18 volts, but you do have a starter with the 12 volts. So they will take the 12 volts, they will make it to the 18 volts. They have a substitution, they call it, but that's not a substitution. But they will take the 12 volts, they will make it to the 18 volts with the same item. So 12 volts will be go away from the system, and 18 volts came into the exist with the same assembly.
Great, that's a good example.
Okay. Sure.
In some cases, they do the rebox, means they will take the same assembly. They have a brown box, and they don't want to ship it to with the brown box, so they will create the this kind of like non-standard work order, rework work order. So they will take the product with the brown box, and they will pack it into the white box. That white box, the same product, will be the new item, and they will ship it to the customer.
Okay. Got it, man. You got it. You can go.
That's a very good example, actually.
Okay.
So, yes. Okay, this is a new learning for me also, that this is not there in EBS. So I know work order less is there in EBS. But yeah, I didn't know there's nothing called transform there. That's nice. That's nice to know. Okay, so let's just quickly see one of the examples. So should I do transform, because we discussed so much about transform? So here I'm mentioning from which item I want to transform. So my end assembly is going to be this. Ideally, I should have taken a better example. These are just components. But, this is all the item list I have created for now. Okay, so like you guys said, this does not, because it's a non-standard. At a high level, it is a non-standard one. If you want, you can associate a work definition. And if we don't have a work definition, we just go about creating one.
This is optional, am I right? You don't need to have work definition also.
Yeah, you don't need to. Okay, let's create it without the work definition.
This is the transform order?
Yeah. So here I have HB006 as the transform order. These are the 3 work orders which I have in unreleased status. Okay, so what we do is, mostly the orders get created in unreleased status only. It's the production operator, or whoever is on the shop floor decides that if you have all the materials available, he tends to release those work orders. And it's very important for the shop floor manager to know that the material, all the components are available before he releases, because that's when you have a better promising of orders and a timely completion of orders. So he can come here, like when you want to release your work orders which are created, you can come here and mask select them to release, or you can choose to release and pick materials at the same time. So, and I'm just going to release, say, 2 of these work orders for now.
How do you multi-select? You place control and multi-select?
Yeah, control. Okay, so yeah, this is also a good example. So of course, when you don't have an operation, you don't know what you need to do in that work order, right? So right now the order it's saying the order cannot so and so. It says you selected the number of work orders that you selected is 2. The number of work orders which has errors and cannot be processed is 1. So it's asking you, do you want to continue? And then it says the work order number. It says it does not even have one operation. So basically, if I'm releasing, I'm telling my workers or operators or the work center, the resources to do something, but they don't even have the work definition, or they don't even know what needs to be done. So that's the reason it's just saying that there is no operation. Do you want to continue or say no? If you continue, only one of them will be released. Let me just show you that too. If I say yes, it will release the other work order. See, the 1004 is marked on released, but this is in unreleased status. So that you can come and add an operation. Okay.
A few questions. Yesterday you handled the work definition. Is there any work instructions we can give there in that? An attachment.
What do you mean by working sections?
Work instructions. For example, each operation, I wanted to provide certain guidance to the operator. So they are called work instructions.
Yes, those are added as attachments.
Attachments?
Yeah.
And can you print a picture?
Usually, if this work order is associated with any sales order or purchase order, where you will see that?
Yeah, I wanted to show you that in the next screen where we do our work order completion. You'll get a new tab. I'm going to show you that.
So can you print a quick slip for the work order?
You can, yeah, print the components and all. We have those options here. I put them in my PPT also. Like you can print the component list. You can print a work order traveler. So I'm just going to show you one of these so that you just get an idea of how do you view the output. But because both of them are same, they just do submit a scheduled job and we'll see the output of it. Okay. So the next thing is, where do you go to progress your work orders? So what we did so far was we just created different type of work orders. And now you see, where do you want to go to progress the work orders? So if you just want to view the work order, you can just come here, like you see this hyperlink, you click on it
Can
and
you
like,
show the transform work order again?
oh, sure.
Okay. So the end item is FG. Transform from item is HTD3. Okay.
Okay. And we can maybe just add an operation and all here.
Right. Okay.
Okay, so anything that you want to edit on the work order, you come to this page called Manage Work Orders, because you can just come and edit the work order, but you can't really do something. You're not completing the operation. Here I cannot come and complete. Yeah, you cannot progress. So to progress, we go to something called dispatch list. Maybe you guys tell me, is this reviewed? Is this dispatch list even there in EVS?
Yeah, it is there, I think, but we don't use it that way.
Okay. Even I've heard that it's with a different name or something. It's not called dispatch list, and the whole concept of dispatch list is a little new. That's what I've heard. That's the reason I asked.
No. It is there in MES, not in BIP. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So here you will see all the work orders which are released. It means they are ready to be worked up upon. So if you see, after, if an unreleased or work order you'll release, they're kind of in ready status. Let's see, where are the other work orders? Okay, sorry, right now my filter is in ready. My
Is the
filter was,
dispatch list is going to get notified to the operators?
yes, to the production supervisor. So if you have the role production supervisor, it gives you a notification of a lot of things. Okay, here earlier I had completed 2 work orders, so basically whatever I need to work on, I don't want to see the completed, and this is only for work area 2. Let me just see all. And if you see this search window has no mandatory criteria, so that's also a good thing, where you don't have a mandatory thing. You can just search on whatever you like. Like there's no mandatory field that needs to be searched upon. I just want to see everything in all, like whatever in my plant, what all work orders are open. Or if you want to see a specific work area, you can choose a specific work area. Under the work area, you can put a specific work center. If you want a specific work order that you're interested in, enter the work order number. So I'm just doing a search on all the work orders which are ready to be worked up upon in my manufacturing plant. Okay. So you can just click on this arrow and do a quick complete here. You can enter that, like see, by default it's entering the 7 quantity, the whole quantity it enters as a complete quantity. But if you think during your manufacturing process there was some quantity which was rejected or which was put to scrap, you can enter here and do a quick complete. In the quick complete, you just like instantly completing the whole work order. But if you have serial and lot numbers, you have to do the complete with details, because you will record the serial and lot numbers here. Okay.
So the operation will be taken as marked as complete then automatically.
Yes, I'll show you when we go to complete with details. It'll open the whole page like how it had opened during work order creation. So if I do quick complete, it instantly completes. So here you see it's opened like a train functionality. So here you're right now in the product page. So yes, the quantity is 7. If you want to print label, you can just select this. This will print the labels in the set format. If you want to work towards backflash material.
When we define the label?
The label is like a default template from Oracle, and like I was telling you, you're using BI Publisher, you can change the templates. So this particularly on print label, I'm not sure if there's a default template from Oracle, but normally there is. Normally any of the print components, Oracle provides a default template which is very very simple and can be non-structured, can be called non-structured just for the lack of a better word. But mostly customers want things, like it could be the work order printing, it could be the purchase order printing or a sales order printing in a specific format. So the Oracle's format is not really used. Then we have developers who develop using BI Publisher. They develop the template that you provide them. You could just add some additional lines. You could have some terms and conditions, or you can have some, your own contact information. So all that, maybe some fields, like Oracle gives very basic fields. Maybe it's not populating all the fields that you need. Like just a small example is Oracle is populating your contact details, but it's not populating, say, the fax number. So if you want the fax number to be printed in any of your print, like it could be a sales order print, it could be print label, it could be a work order print, we customize that template and add the field.
Printer?
Sorry?
You can send it to a printer, or you can integrate with a printer, or is any defaults are there?
So
this
this print template is how you can view your document going forward. So going forward, if I'm opening, say, like typically it's very commonly used in purchase orders because we send it to an external supplier, right? So the most common requirement around purchase orders is to add the company's logo. So we do a custom template, we add the company's logo. So every time I open a purchase order PDF, it opens in my template, in my customized new template. And
in work orders, if you complete an assembly, maybe you're packing it, you want a label on it. So with certain information, so that needs to be printed and put onto that component, the assembly, final assembly, what you produce.
Right. So that's why I'm just giving an example of any print. So I'm trying to generalize this so that you understand how the print works in, and it's across the applications. It can, in manufacturing, it's the same thing. In order management or purchasing and all, it's the same thing.
Especially with serial number and lot number, you need to have that information on the label, so that people will get that information physically on the
Correct. So probably the serial number field is already there, provided in Oracle's default template, and if you're okay with that, you need not customize. So not always is there a need to customize this print, like the print label. I haven't seen the default print label template from Oracle for the work orders, but like I'm just giving an example that typically the print is always customized in purchase orders because we send it to an external supplier and all. For work orders, the print label is a pretty new feature. It's in one of the 18 or 19 releases only, so I haven't seen the template myself, but like I'm just generalizing how the print works.
That's fine.
Okay.
Another thing is the work list. I think you are viewing all the work list because you are a supervisor. If an operator is associated to an operator employee, do you think, and to a resource, he will see only his tasks?
You're right. As a supervisor, we have, of course, a little more superset of roles. But if you give yourself only the production operator, you will not be having so many roles. And like even the notifications, you will not be having.
The work list, what you review is only what is assigned to you, am I right? To your work, to your mission.
Yes.
Where the operator is assigned to. Is it that way it is there? And
no, you're asking from a WMS task perspective.
No.
I don't think that's here.
No, it is not WMS, it's MES. So
okay, but you are asking from that task perspective. I don't think there is task assigned here.
Actually, this is what work list is, the concept of task conflict indirectly.
Concept of?
Task conflict. So basically, a task without getting on the mobile, getting on the desktop is called this work list notifications. So this is the typical thing done in MES. So the operator will be confined to view only his notification work list, right? Based on which resource he is associated. Is it correct, Deepti?
I think you're confusing between notifications and work orders. So this is notifications. In the bell icon is.
I think Rao, you're expecting too much. You're expecting those features. I don't think they are here.
No. I'm talking about work list. I'm not talking about notification. Go to the work list. The work list view. My question is, the work list view is confined for an operator to his tasks, or where he is associated to.
No, but have you assigned it to an individual person here? Where have we assigned it
Yeah,
to
we,
individual
we,
person?
didn't, we didn't assign that. I haven't seen that.
Right. So there is no work list here. Where is the work list that you're talking about?
I think she showed us, am I right? Go to the work list. Can you show us, Deepti?
Which was the work list?
Go to your right side and you showed us the work list, am I right? For a work center. You viewed them.
These are all the tasks that you can perform. So I won't call this like the work list. Like work list, like you said, is the action items that you have to take, right?
Sorry, review dispatch list. Please, can you go to that? The first one under the
Yeah,
exhibit.
we are already in review dispatch list. 1 second, I'll just close out. So this is the review dispatch list. And no, none of these work orders are assigned to my user. They are not assigned to test 6 procurement. Like the user that I use is test 6 PRC. It's not assigned to that user.
Correct.
These
Because
are just
you never went in the responsibility of operator. You went in the responsibility of supervisor.
No, but
so
the work order is not
yeah.
assigned to an individual person here, or operation not been assigned to an individual person. There is no such assignment here. So those features you're expecting are not here.
Actually,
You are asking very,
let me just tell you.
you are expecting something advanced.
No, not advanced. It is simple. I think they have clubbed both MES into this. That's why they're talking about this work list.
No, MES is a different application here. MES is completely different here.
You have that in here, MES?
In cloud you do have, but I mean,
Yeah,
I've never.
So why are you expecting that here?
I was thinking that they match it based on MES little bit, which works on
No,
both.
but why are you expecting that?
I don't know. I'm trying to see the limit of what they designed. Now that I'm trying to learn that.
No, you are expecting quite a lot and it's not there.
If it's not there, it's not there. That's fine. Yeah.
So this is for anybody who has access to this org as a production operator or a production supervisor.
So any operator can view all the dispatch list, am I right?
An operator who has access to this plant.
Correct.
Who is an operator for this plant.
So he will see all the dispatch list of that plant, am I right?
Correct. So if I'm a operator who I mainly deal with only say the work center 1, or work area 1 or work center 1, I'm going to come filter only my job here and then search.
So that means that it's not limited. Okay, got it.
Correct. It's not assigned to an individual, like an individual. Okay.
It is not confined, role-wise.
Correct. So, but now I'm just logged in. Like I have both the roles. I have the operator and the supervisor. That's typically how we do when we are implementing. We just give ourselves some super user roles.
Yeah, but supervisor will include everything that the operator does also, right?
Yeah, and the supervisor especially gets some notifications. That's important.
Yeah.
Like if there's some material shortage, if there are exceptions, he's kind of notified. Then yesterday you were discussing about the mobile feature. So in his there's the tablet application, he will be notified about the shop floor, everything that's going on. That's only the difference of being notified mainly.
Deepti, when you see the order, even though if it is not a WMS enabled, it will create the move order in the system that we will push that move order. Then the material will be, work order will be completed. That's the next step. Do we do the same thing here also?
Yeah, it's exactly the same.
Epic release. There will be epic release here also, right?
Correct.
Okay. So, at what point you will pick release that here?
Here, I'm going to show you that.
Okay.
So I'm just taking any work order and I'm doing a complete with details. And here, in the next step, we have the Blackfish material. You can just enter whatever quantities you want to operate on, or you can scan the product here. If they are serial items, you can just scan them here. Though we don't really like this UI, and this scan also was not available in the early releases of release 11. But when it came in also, it's a very tedious thing. You have to keep entering here, scanning. So it's a pretty tedious UI. It's not very user friendly. And I can choose one of the components here. So whichever is why do I have such a list of components?
Just bring everything, right? It should
Okay,
be
I think this is my non-standard work order. It could be.
okay.
Okay. Um, and how much quantity I want to transact. You can just enter everything. I'm just entering one. And also I want you to note that this option comes in from your plant parameter setup. Sometimes in a plant parameter setup, there's an option that should you be allowed to edit the backflush quantity or no. Like in the plant parameter, if you set it as no, you should not be allowed. Like you said, if it's a basic operator who should not be having the authority to decide what he wants to do. So you can just set in the plant parameters that the blackfish quantity cannot be edited. That's when you will not even get this train 2. You will not even have this option. It will directly go to auto transact resources because whatever materials has been there in your work definitions, it is just going to transact that. Make sense?
Yeah, okay. No additional materials, I think. Okay.
Correct.
And no additional quantity either.
I can just quickly open the plant parameter page so that you're more clear and you know where we did that. We set it up in the first day of our plant parameter setup. And this is also a nice to have feature. So earlier we could always edit it. This feature also came in the later releases, which was very nice to have.